a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today's guest works in the film industry, and we're going to find out more about that. Time to talk to, his name is Linley Holm Subryan. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Nancy. It's good to be here.
So I want to know when you first decided to get into the film industry.
I first decided to get into the film industry in 1996. So that's 27 years ago. And I started taking acting lessons. This is on Vancouver Island in Victoria. And then in 1997, I moved to the mainland, to Vancouver, and I started really pursuing it in earnest. And I kept doing acting lessons, and then I eventually went to film school in 1999, and I studied screenwriting, and I kind of put it all together, and I became a filmmaker.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess what happened was I pursued acting a little bit, probably not long enough, but I soon realized how difficult it is to make a living as an actor. And so I thought, well, I'm going to learn some other skills and try my hand at screenwriting. So, yeah, and I'd always had an interest in photography and cinematography as well. So I started writing, and I made some short films, and
okay,
here we are.
Tell me about your short films.
My first short film I made in 2000, and it was, of course, very low budget, no budget. Everybody volunteered. It was probably too ambitious, but I thought, hey, might as well go for the gusto. And it's like half an hour long. It's way too long, and it actually has a lot of views. The most views of any video I've ever posted online on YouTube. And I think it's just the title. It's called "The Secret to Nice Tight Skin," which if you couldn't even like imagine what it's about based on the title, but it's probably a lot of people that are into cosmetics and skincare that they're searching for videos about that, and they find this short film that I made.
I think that's so cool.
Thank you.
You know, whether I was just thinking about that, like when you first start off anything, you know, if you hit it big, great. If you don't, it's just your learning experience, right?
Right.
And you move on from there. So so how's it going now, like currently?
Well, in terms of filmmaking, I haven't made anything for about 7 years.
Okay. All right.
But I've continued to, do acting a little bit here and there, and background performing. I've done a lot of that. And I guess in the last 2 years or so, I focused more on behind the camera and working in health and safety, and particularly COVID departments on television shows.
Oh, really?
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what did that?
So that's. Sorry.
What did that entail?
Well, in 2021, September, I was back on Vancouver Island again at that time, and I moved back to the mainland because I got a call or an email from a colleague I used to work with when I worked in healthcare. I did that for 8 years. And this nurse contacted me and said, how would you like to work in the COVID department for this show called Kung Fu on the CW network? And I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was a scam or something, but it was real. And so it's been kind of a bittersweet experience, because my plan on getting into that kind of work was to use it as a means to enter the union, the IATSE union.
Okay.
And they were going to create a brand new department. And so I worked on 6 or 7 shows between September 2021 and May 2023, when the mandates changed for COVID. all with the intention that it would lead to membership in IATSE. But unfortunately, there is a process that they have to go through to create a new department in their union. And the BC Labor Council or something like that, I think it's called, they have to have a say in it, and they wouldn't approve it. Okay. So I got to do all this work, but I was non-union. Right. And so I'm still trying to get into IATSE 891. So it was good. I got work, and I've been here on the mainland again doing it in the film industry and television, but I am still trying to get into that all important IATSE.
Right. Yeah. Well, what would that do for you?
If I got into IATSE,
yes.
became a union member?
Yes.
Oh, so many things. I mean, as a non-union worker on a film or TV show, I don't have the protection of the union or of any union, right? Mm-hmm. Like whether it's the Directors Guild or IATSE or Teamsters or,
right.
So it's just in film and television, you get paid better if you're a member of the union. Mm-hmm. You can get benefits. Like I said, you have the protection of the union. So let's say you're injured, or let's say there's some sort of a dispute, they can basically go to bat for you and try and get you a fair deal or treatment. So that's, for me, that's a big thing.
Okay. So now while you're waiting for this to happen, what are you doing? Are you still in the working as a background performer?
This year has been pretty lean, as I think a lot of people might know from the 2 strikes in the United States. Mm-hmm. The Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild have both been on strike. So there's some production going on, but it's there's another union called ACFC, and they do things like Hallmark movies, lower budget, stuff like that.
Right.
So I've gotten a little bit of work on some shows that are made through the ACFC union.
Yeah.
I worked on a Canadian program, actually. It'll be on CBC in the winter of 2024, called Wild Cards, and did some background performing on that. I just did some background performing a couple of days ago on When Calls the Heart, which is in its 11th season, which is pretty amazing. That's Hallmark, basically, and Hallmark is it's not fettered by the Writers Guild of America or SAG. And I did a little bit of swamping.
What is that?
So in the set decorating department, you have set dressers, and when a show is finished filming somewhere, they need to take everything away that they used for set decoration. And so a swamper kind of just puts all that stuff on a truck.
Okay.
It's just labor. I basically just labor on that. I worked on that for a day, I guess, one day, I think it was. It was interesting. And I'm open to that. I'm open to working in set deck or maybe even props. Ideally, I'm trying to work in first aid craft services department. Mm-hmm. So I have all of my tickets for that now. I have my occupational first aid level 3, food safe level 1, WMIS 2015, and so on.
Very good.
But there's nothing happening until these strikes are all resolved.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I thought they were finished. I thought they were over.
No, just one of them is over. Just the Writers Guild.
Writers Guild is over. That strike is over, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, Screen Actors Guild is dragging on and on. It's, I think it's maybe just at 100 days.
Okay.
Or it's almost 100 days now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, what's the difference between being an extra and being a background performer?
It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, but it's just not called extras anymore. It's like,
Okay.
you know, when you used to go to the bank and the person that you went up to was called a teller
Yes.
or a clerk or something. Well, now it's a customer service representative. Just it's a more fancy way of saying extra.
Right.
Say you're a background performer. I guess people felt like it was maybe a little bit dismissive to just call you an extra. You know?
Yeah. I did a little bit of extra, and it's not as, you get some nice money for that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I am a member of Union of BC Performers, ACTRA, but I am a background member.
Okay.
And so when I do background performing, even though I'm a member of the union, I don't necessarily get paid at the rate that union members get. It depends on how many background performers are working that day.
Okay.
And so I was just working on When Calls the Heart, but I got paid non-union rate, which is basically minimum wage.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Makes a big
So
difference.
if you're making union rate, it's okay, it's decent. It's like $25 to $30 an hour.
Right.
But if you're not getting paid that, it's like working at McDonald's or something,
And you're living in Vancouver, so we all know that is expensive living there, right?
Yes, it is.
But that's where the industry is. The main part of Canada's filming industry is, a lot of it is in BC, isn't it? In Vancouver.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if it's still the case. I think it's pardon me. I think Vancouver's like the second or third largest.
Yeah, because Toronto's pretty big.
hub.
Yeah, for sure. For me, like, I think it's in a way it's too bad that it's only mainly like in BC anyway, mainly there, because there's, if it, I know they've done, Hallmark has come to Chilliwack and done a couple of, filming in Chilliwack, and it's like good for everybody in Chilliwack. Anybody who wants to be an extra, if they wanted to, that wouldn't have to travel to Vancouver all the time,
Yeah. And they make stuff in the Okanagan,
Okay.
Kelowna, stuff like that. But yes, if only there were a way to end these labor disruptions.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, there is a way, but it's not happening.
Both sides have to come together to make an agreement, right? Before anything can happen.
Precisely.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, I'm biased, of course. I'm on the side of the unions more than the management or producers, obviously. So, a lot of us just feel like, well, if the producers would just, yield to the demands, if you want to call them that, of the union,
right,
we could all get back to work sooner than later.
In the meantime, do you think you're going to get back into producing your own films?
Well, it's so time consuming.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't afford that time because I have to work somewhere to keep paying my bills. So no, I mean, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of will. And I don't have that right now, to be honest.
Okay.
It's it might sound funny, like, to say this. I don't look very old, and I'm not, I guess, really very old. I'm 54.
You are,
but
you look 54. Definitely look young.
Yeah, I'm 54. Yeah, and I just had my birthday in September.
Oh, happy late birthday!
Thank you very much. And I'm sort of, starting to feel like, at just 54, I feel like it's a young person's game. The longer I do it, the more I feel like I'm becoming obsolete, somewhat. It's just, unless you've established yourself in a way that, you're kind of, up here. And
but at the same time, you're still getting some work, which is really good, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm grateful, and I'm interested in the things that I've been working on, because I've never worked on When Calls Heart, and who knows how many seasons they have left of that, and to work on a Canadian show for Canadian networks. This might be only the second time I've done that, I think, since I started background performing in 2005. So in 18 years, I've only worked on 2 shows that I can think of that were specifically, Canadian, CBC particularly.
Yeah, right. I think, other than that during COVID and those times, but I think there's more now Canadian contact, whatever the word content is, than before. Like at one time, everything was from the US, basically, right?
Oh, for sure. But, like I think you just said earlier, like a lot of production of Canadian programming is in Toronto.
Yes, yeah, right.
Or the Maritimes even, we used to have shows here like Da Vinci's Inquest, Da Vinci's City Hall. Maybe there was a couple of other ones I can't think of at the moment. But somehow gradually which way is east? This way or this way? It all went east. I don't know.
Your direction, I have no idea. Of course, I'm directionally impaired, so it wouldn't help anyway. Well, I hope I really hope for you that you get those things you want. You get into those guilds that the unions rather that they help you also. That it enables you probably to get better work to begin with, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of really big shows or movies. Well, one's a movie and one's a show that are coming up. One is called The Last of Us for HBO, and that's going to be filming here in 2024. And there was a movie that was supposed to be made right now. It was supposed to wrap in November, but it never even started. It was supposed to in August, and that's Tron Ares, which is the 3rd movie in a Tron trilogy that started in the early 1980s with Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner. They were going to make a 3rd one. The 2nd one was also made here, but it's all been postponed. And if I was a full member or even a permittee in IATSE, I would have a chance of working on something like that. But if I'm not even in the union, it's not even an option. I can't even apply to work. So,
well, let's will that to happen. That you get it.
Yes.
How's that?
Absolutely.
I'll think positive for you, right?
It's got to end sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it can just go on and on and on.
No.
So hopefully before the end of 2023.
Yeah, and that's not too far away. So that would be really good. Well, we're going to end it there. I just want to still ask you to stay on camera. But thank you for being here. And I'm just going to talk to the audience. So you've been listening to Linley, Holm, Subryan, and I hope you enjoyed this interview. And look them up on Facebook. And if you're looking for somebody, maybe you want to help them get in the union, whatever you can do it. It's always nice to help somebody. So take care, everybody. Thanks very much for watching the show, and peace out.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.